Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gohndim and Marlow and Gilmore show. Today's episode is brought to you by the Bossiet News Network, the only new age digital newspaper that brings you only the facts. We're back after Thanksgiving. Gilmore, how are you doing?
I'm okay. Feeling a little full still from on Thursday, but otherwise doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing well, although I'm shedding a tear for the breaking news. I guess this is going to be a little bit old news at this point, that our favorite Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is resigning amid political threats, death threats, bomb threats. I think she's resigning in January. Marlow, did you find MTG more attractive or Lauren Boebert?
Honestly, I think I'd go for MTG just because she's set foot in a CrossFit gym.
That's fair. And she didn't do like previous work as like a sex worker, right? Like Lauren did.
Is that what Lauren was up to? I didn't realize that.
I think that was a rumor that was started, but had no truth to it. But that's my favorite kind of rumor.
Yeah.
So
that kind of stuff haunts you.
Well, she did some sex work in that theater, right? So
not familiar.
So.
I don't go to those kinds of theaters, Gilmore.
Yeah, my bad.
I didn't know this existed anymore. How do they clean up in between the shows, Gilmore?
I think she was just following in Pee-wee Herman's footsteps, unfortunately.
What a shame.
Oh my God. So MTG has had a public feud sort of with Trump over the last few weeks. The government shut down and she's gone on a number of shows talking about the rising costs of healthcare and I think she went on the Young Turks again as well. She's been on the show a few times. I saw some clips from that on TikTok. Is this signs of a cracking Donald Trump voter base? Is this worrying signs for Republicans in the midterms in 2028? What do you guys think?
I kind of hope so. I don't like getting my hopes up too high on things like this because you never know what's going to happen. I kind of felt that way by the end of Trump's first term, but I guess we'll see what happens. It is kind of weird that she's more of the, quote unquote populist base, which seems Trump is really leading into now, especially meeting with Mamdani. So I wonder what the kind of long play is here. If she's trying to like stay in politics or completely, separate herself from public space. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I just worry that like this is actually just a shedding of unnecessary vestigial organs at this point, and that like women generally being more capable of empathy just makes them a liability to a fascist regime, and that what we're seeing is like the tip of the spear becoming prominent, and that eventually what I mean. That's what I'm worried about.
I think MTG will be missed. She was very sexy, and we need more women in Congress. That's like the DEI push that we need. So I will miss her personally. A headline that I saw on TikTok here, and I did verify, this is a real story. I don't think either of you guys have heard this. This is a fucking wild story, and I expect every one of our listeners to go look into this after the podcast because I've only read like half a news article on this. So this is what it says. 2 Texas men charged in alleged plot to invade the island off of Haiti, enslave the women and children, kill all the men. So these are 2 young Texas men who literally trained for a year, at least what's being alleged, between August 2024 and July 2025 to implement a military coup d'etat of this island off the coast of Haiti that apparently has a population of 85,000. And their plan to build their army was to recruit homeless people in Washington, D.C. At least that's what I'm reading here.
Do we know what kind of firearms we took away from these boys?
I didn't see, but I'm reading here right now. They plan to buy a sailboat, guns, and ammunition for the coup. I think one actually, it says he might have joined the Air Force or was in the Air Force. How are people this mentally ill?
I hope they took away these boys' DVD copy of Full Metal Jacket. That's ridiculous.
At some point in the process, they also allegedly coerced a minor into participating in child pornography that they filmed. Oh my God. It gets even worse.
How did that help with the training process?
Well, I'm not sure, but all the articles and things I saw on TikTok said that their goal was to enslave the women and the children on this fucking 85,000 population island. So I don't know what their plans were. Apparently, they actually both learned Haitian Creole as well. So I think they took like actual good, like meaningful steps into doing this. I don't know what the fuck is happening though. I think it's that Gilmore, you might not have had this because you're low T, but that urge as like a young man to like, conquer new places, reach new heights, that's kind of evaporated in the last century. There's nothing new to really to explore or do or invade. Everything's like established, everything's well known. So maybe they just wanted to have some adventure.
About like Antarctica or something like that.
This is what I'm confused of. If convicted of the first charge, they face up to life in prison. If convicted of the second charge, they face 15 to 30 years. Why wouldn't we just shoot these people? I don't understand.
In the U.S., or did they ever make it to Haiti?
Why wouldn't you just wait? Why wouldn't you just let them go into international waters? Like, just say, hey, here's a sailboat, and then Trump can like drone strike it and pretend there's drugs on it.
Well, then who knows who they'd take up? Oh, drone strike.
Would they just be killed in like Haiti within like a day?
I have no idea, man. I think Haiti's like, isn't it like still like a warring gang, a country, almost a planet?
Yeah, it's like a civil war, right?
Oh my God. That's a good question. By the time this episode releases, because we were kind of pre-recording this for the week, well, I should say, yeah, because of the Thanksgiving schedule. By the time this airs, do you guys think that we'll have invaded or taken military actions in mainland Venezuela?
I don't think so. Hopefully.
I think he'll get distracted with New York City and Mamdani because, like, he just got reminded that New York City exists and that he loves her very much. I think he's going to start putting his fingers into the New York City government and being distracted with Mamdani.
Oh my God. Do you think he blew Mamdani like he did Bill Clinton?
I hope so.
Might be good for New Yorkers. Gilmore, would you allow Mamdani to be blown by Trump if it helps you?
What's my say in this? I'm like a third
Aren't you,
party that has to like sign a consent form.
Well, aren't you like a citizen of New York?
Oh, I think it meant like a permission thing. Yeah, I'm okay with it. It's fine if it helps.
Interesting. Well, I'm just gonna say I think nothing else interesting really happened in politics here. I mean, a couple sex scandals. I mean, Trump and Clinton. We talked about all the hiding topics. Gilmore, what do you got for us for the rest of the show?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we signed waivers when the Epstein files got released, so we're not allowed to talk about it anymore. So just to change the topic real briefly, as we discussed, and I'm sure you've all listened to the Thanksgiving episode we had with Marlow, we realized and told the world that Marlow's an accomplished chef, and Marlow wanted to discuss her connection between cooking and community organization. So Marlow, please take it away.
Well, I'm in this headspace lately where it seems that everybody is really interested in like doing something, right? And when I say everyone, I mean everyone who doesn't think Donald Trump is a good president. Most people are like genuinely interested in like, oh, like what steps can I take to make a difference in the world? And like while during election seasons, there is a ton that you can do, like door knocking and phone banking and yada 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 yada. In this interim period, people seem kind of at a loss. And I think that's really sad because right now is an incredible time to be doing what I would consider outreach, but is more properly described as just like community building. I think that what we're looking at in terms of the federal government is just a highly antisocial authoritarian regime, right? It's like classically masculine, right, in the broad general sense of like warlike and violent and hateful and power hungry, right? These are like classically masculine traits, not to throw shade on you two either, but and what I'm kind of wondering more and more as I go throughout the volunteer hours that I put in cooking, is like, why shouldn't it be the case that we all just start doing whatever it is we know how to do with a slant of doing it against Trump, right? Or against MAGA or for liberalism or for democracy or for, right? Like here's an example. I like to mend clothes. I embroider a little bit. I'm not very good at it, but I could be making patches. Someone could be screen printing signs. Someone could be hosting, like right now I'm working on hosting a supper on a regular basis that kind of lets people who politically agree with one another connect to each other. It seems like a social resistance is a proper thing to be doing right now.
And let's not forget your magnificent cartoons. I think I agree with your general sentiment. And the patch thing is timely as well because now we can apply Nazi patches to Coast Guard uniforms, and that's not like a sign of anti-Semitism or anything. So that's allowed now. So very timely for that.
Something I've been thinking about recently, because of the local elections in my area, was like obviously like 98% of the focus of most people is on federal politics, especially with Trump in office. It's hard not to. It's always in the news. And I was wondering your guys' thoughts on trying to shift more focus onto local and like hyper local, like not even state level, but like county level politics instead of focusing on federal level politics. So what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I have a pretty doomer take on this. I think it's just funny to me that the reaction always is like you can make so much difference in your local community, and sure that's true. Like in terms of like your effort to actually get on like one of these, even like your city council in a small city or something. It would be trivially easy for me to probably become the fucking mayor of my old small town. Like it doesn't take a lot of resources to do so, but the actual decisions that a lot of these small town, even like counties and cities make. I mean, maybe you're making like one or two big decisions a year. I don't know. I think it's a little. I agree it's important, but part of the reason why you don't have a bunch of qualified people wanting to do it is because it's kind of a lame cuck job. Someone has to do it. We should want good people to do it. I think it's primarily old people in small rural areas anyway that do it, at least in my experience. So I think it's fine to encourage people to want to do that as like a stepping stone to getting some experience and joining your school board or whatever, attending meetings, whatever. I ain't got the time for that. I'm too privileged for it, so I don't really care about it.
I come from a small rural county who and like we worked really hard to get one of our county commissioners elected, and he got elected by like a small margin of the vote, and it was his say in the matter that prevented our county from working with the feds on a couple of different projects like building detention centers, et cetera, et cetera. It was his say that made it so that we don't have our county crawling with ice. It's because we put in the time and effort and knocked on doors to get him elected. I genuinely think that it is true, Gohndim, that county, city, municipal officials are really only making a couple important decisions every so often. But one thing that's really important to remember is that MAGA took power over this country by starting in school boards and starting on city councils, and they brought that fascist populism craziness across the country in those hyper local political spaces, and they radicalized a lot of people doing that. It's good for us to just keep them out of there, if nothing else.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. I just think that like I see the examples of where this plays out, and a lot of times it's um, like take the city of Duluth for example, a very left-leaning city. And so like when people are like, okay, we're going to focus our energy to run in these local elections, what it means is like far left progressives displacing more moderate liberals. And so I get it, maybe in like a rural area where you want to get rid of like a conservative commissioner or something, or even the school board. The school board might actually be the best bang for your buck because, at least in my experience, from what I've paid attention to, it's trivially easy to make it onto a school board. I know in the last couple of years in my hometown, there was like just like board members that ran totally unopposed, and there was like two vacancies that only like one person applied for. So like there's opportunities there. I'm not denying it. And so like if you have the time and the patience and the effort, and if anything you just want to block these people out that oppose you ideologically, I'm all for it. I just worry sometimes where it's like, okay, we're gonna focus on these hyper local elections and it's like radical progressive groups that are displacing like moderate liberals, and in some places like implementing an agenda that is not even right for the municipality that they're trying to govern over. We saw that in Duluth with their right to repair law that they tried to push, all the fervor over a resolution denouncing Israel's genocide or alleged genocide in Gaza. There's all these things that people think that they're trying to make a change on a local level, and it's better placed in like a state or a national politics anyway. So I'm totally on board with the strategy of getting people in there, but I'm not sure if the issues that some people want to bring to these local areas, I guess, are really local issues.
Yeah, I agree when it comes to those bigger issues like international issues and wars and things like that. It doesn't really anything you do on the local level. At least in this area, the school board and also the housing boards are really the most important ones for us. There's a big shift recently going from trying to build more housing to like completely going NIMBY and wanting no more housing to be built. They'll claim it's for quote unquote environmental reasons, but just because they don't want, certain people moving into the area, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they pushing against it, not unfortunately that the people are moving into the area. And there's been a big boom in my area of people legitimately believing the great replacement theory. So I think getting people on boards that aren't kooks like that, and you can worry about, environmental issues. I totally get that. But having, common sense people actually figuring out that we need more housing, where to build it, so on and so forth is much better than these, crazy people that we get around here.
That reminds me of two business meetings ago. I go to the local Democrat Party business meetings when I can make it, and there was a meeting not too long ago where our congresswoman came to visit us, and we were asking her questions and and people ask silly questions in town hall meetings, whatever. And this guy in the very back of the room puts his hand up and he starts posting in the fucking Israel-Palestine channel, like he starts being like, and why did you applaud Benjamin Netanyahu when he visited the United States? And like, so I leaned over my own shoulder and told the guy to fucking shut up. I was trying to hear what the lady was talking about. And like, my partner also was like, man, can you please be quiet? 'Cause, like, this is a rural county, right? Where our relationship to that issue is purely moral grandstanding, right? And he quieted our congressperson at, she answered him really effectively. She was really principled and clear, and I was really proud of her answer. But then at the end of the meeting, somebody comes up to me and she goes, hey man, thank you so much for telling that guy to shut the fuck up. And we were like, are you saying thank you guys for telling this guy to shut the fuck up? She said, absolutely. I thought that guy was being anti-Semitic as fuck, and that makes me scared. Come to find out, this is one of my Jewish community members. And I think that there's hope, actually. Like, I think there's hope that conscientious people who understand the limits of local politics will be able to spend their time more intentionally in those spaces, right? And try to keep those spaces serious and professional. I think that can happen. I think that will happen. Because I think it's one of the only things that can make, for lack of a better phrase, America great again.
Oh my God, we're co-opting MAGA.
I think we should.
Oh yeah, I think loving the country is a good thing, so I'm all for that.
Oh yeah.
What do you love about the country, Gilmore?
Mainly the support for Israel, but I do like that, we are a bastion of liberalism and free speech. I like that it's a place where people want to come to, have a better life, have a better chance of being successful, thriving, and pretty much doing what you want to do. So I think we're probably the best country in the world for that.
Oh my God.
Probably true.
I don't know. I'm just not optimistic. I think in small rural areas, you're still going to see mostly boomers that are attending these things. I remember listening to a school board meeting either last year or the year before when there was some big cuts in my hometown district. And they had to explain to this fucking 78-year-old man who's been on the almost at the podcast, who's been on the board for 30 years, basics about technology, as they're considering technology cuts in positions and stuff. And it's just I see this in most rural cities and rural areas. Even when we do wind projects and we're approaching a county board for a certain permit, there's usually one dedicated person and the rest of the people are showing up because it's their coffee, their annual or their weekly coffee meeting or something. I don't know. I don't have a lot of optimism about activism in some of these boards, but I could just be a pessimist.
I liked that for I guess it's kind of at the federal level, but more local organizing for the No Kings protests. All the, 60, 70, 80-year-old men and women who were, protesting. I definitely didn't like the co-opting to make it about Israel-Palestine. Back to that again. But other than that, I thought it was a kind of heartwarming thing seeing these people out there holding their signs.
I'm right there with you, Gilmore. I'm out there protesting with people who were out there protesting like for the Civil Rights Act. You know what I mean? Like these people have been fighting this shit for a long time, some of them. And I have to agree that making the fight against authoritarianism about Israel Palestine, it makes you sound like Prime Kai. And if you like sounding like that, like you have a couple of IQ points, maybe to juggle in your hands, I think that you could do that. But if you want to sound serious and you want to be serious and you want to actually fight authoritarianism, then you need to shut the fuck up about Israel Palestine and like divert your energy towards something that you can control. Maybe, I don't know. Seems smart to me.
Prime Kai, we love you. Please come on the podcast. Thank you.
No.
Gilmore really wants to on the podcast. Gilmore really wants to on for some reason. Gilmore approached me, Marlow, to our podcast, The Three Musketeers, in this call, and be like, we should have this person on. I'm like, okay, invite them. And he just never does. It's very sad.
We'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
Prime Kai should continue to get airtime. I think that's bad. I think that's hurting the world.
What do you think about us hosting the Hyper Troller?
I think you guys are fun. I think you guys are lighthearted. I think you guys are definitely telling jokes that are hilarious, but also, kind of fostering better, more intentional discussions among people who have like wide sets of skills. Like I think that's cool. You guys gonna get Kafka's on here too?
Marlow, what's your top 3 guests you'd want to see on the podcast, and then bottom 3 you wouldn't want to see in the podcast?
My top 3 I would want to see on the podcast would be Huey Lee, the political scientist and theorist and news reporter of very, very mild YouTube fame. He's my very favorite. He escaped communist China, and he cannot believe what is happening right now. Heather Cox Richardson, who is also a political scientist and speaks at length with great, great strength and great knowledgeability about matters of state as they are. And then Andy. Just kidding, Nimble.
Andy,
I said let's take this off Gohndim. I'm fucking playing. I think you guys should bring my husband on. I think you guys should bring Nimble on. That's actually my actual third. I just wanted
Nimble
to
is welcome on the podcast for sure. I'll just say on this Heather Cox Richardson person, very sexy for being age 63. Good suggestion.
Based lady too. We love based ladies.
Oh yeah,
that's what we really need. And then my least favorable 3 would be holy shit, I don't know, man. Like Mog, Prime Kai, and please never platform Connor points either. Okay, promise.
He might be kind of funny, actually. I don't know.
He's a little funny,
I like Connor.
But no, dude. He was sweeping for fascists on Wick Stream just the other day.
What if we get him to come out, though?
I mean, look, I can't tell y'all what to do. You asked me my opinion. I'm saying, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Why are you criticizing Marlow, Gilmore?
No, I'm just saying I think Gohndim could change Prime's mind and make him, pro-Israel. That's all I'm saying.
I think Gohndim could bully Prime into giving up his career in this space. I think that'd be good. That'd be a net good.
I'm not sure if that's possible because like he had like a bunch of viewers when Twitch panels were hot and rising and everything. Now he's got like no viewers and he's still doing this. It's just for the love of the game, I guess.
Damn, you might be right.
It's actually kind of amazing.
That is kind of amazing. I gotta respect at least resilience,
Marlow, any other topics you want to cover?
No, I really just wanted to talk about the way that to be honest, women is one of my favorite topics. And I think that like with the topic of like, I think you were talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene earlier and like her kind of stepping down out of the admin. And, I'm really wondering if like, and with the girls be handy is the thing that saves us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like women. So here's the thing about women is like, broadly speaking, generally speaking, even ugly women are people that other people tend to want to talk to, right? Like we're social creatures in ways that men broadly are less so. Like I think you guys are really amazing exceptions to that rule, genuinely. But like imagine a room full of, well, men you've met who don't really adjust to conversations correctly, and then imagine a room full of women. Like, which one would you rather go into and have conversations, right? I think we all three picked the room full of women, and I think that like that gift being a point from which the humanity that we're missing as a society can spread back into it, like being a an attraction point to bring people together just by virtue of the fact that like they kind of are more likely to want to talk to you. That's amazing. Like that's power in this political climate. And like I really think that if we're ever going to be able to do anything about this from like a social resistance, like cultural revolution, I'm not using that word in the socialist context, thank you, but like cultural change, it's going to have to start with women, and it's going to have to solve the male loneliness epidemic.
I'm all for being surrounded by more women at all times. I think it's very important.
And I'll just add, in order to support women, I'm going to go see the second Wicked movie soon. So,
Oh my
Based.
god! But isn't one of the women die in there, and it's the black one?
why would you tell me that?
Bro, it's in the start of the very first movie. What do you mean?
Yeah, but like, I forgot. It's been like a year.
So you didn't rewatch the first movie before you saw the second movie?
Maybe. We'll see.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to think who are the most prominent liberal women right now. I mean, obviously you have AOC. Klobuchar
Mm.
kind of ruined all of her chances by throwing that, was it a clipboard at a staffer? Kind of fucked up.
It was a stapler, right?
I thought it was a clipboard.
I don't
Maybe.
remember.
Stapler, clipboard, whatever it was. But great Minnesotan woman, though. I mean, you get a little angry now and then. Who else do you have? You have Elizabeth Warren, who basically, lied about being Indian.
Just
Not
great
not a
value
very good
brand Hillary
roster.
Clinton when it comes to optics.
Yeah, I feel bad for Hillary this last couple weeks. I mean, kind of
Me
rough.
too, man.
Gilmore, any final thoughts on women?
I support them. I wish them the best. I think they will eventually rise up and overcome the men, and that'll be a sad day for Gohndim and I. But until then,
Aren't,
I do
aren't they
support them.
already overrising the men though? Like, isn't it statistically that women do far better in school and academic settings than men, which is like the number one predictor of like future career earnings
Yes.
anyway?
Yes, we are largely in a position to take social power, and make big changes. So maybe we should do that, girls. Please.
Yeah, I don't know why, Gilmore. I mean, your message to young men should be like, you should be knocking these women up before they get their academic credentials, like unironically.
Or at
Like,
least listening to them. God damn.
no condoms, no condoms, get a baby, like make sure you derail their career early. That would help birth rates and men's power.
That's a good
Well,
point. Marlow, have you ever heard of the book The Power?
no, I have not.
So the premise of the book, it's a sci-fi book, and the premise, if I recall, I read it like 10 years ago, probably at this point, is all women or girls, maybe just girls, have this ability to shock people out of their hands, but just women and girls. Boys can't do it. And the whole premise is like the imbalance of men being physically stronger than women is totally reversed in this world.
You're saying that they have the power. I'm sorry. I really didn't understand what you're saying their power was.
They could
To
like
what?
shock men, like just touch them and like electrocute them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've already invented that. It's called a gun.
And that's
my
how I
God.
feel about like the college stats recently. I feel
It's
like,
called the Kim Potter taser. Oh my god.
Well, no, I just like like it's so frustrating to me that women are so anti-gun, and then they'll stand there and talk to you about like, well, I can't go anywhere at night. It's like, okay, well, you could if you wanted to. You just don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I guess everyone could just use a gun anyway, so that's a good point.
It's still a free country in some regards.
True. Well, only in the red states, though, unfortunately.
Well, I know a lot of blue states are totally like you just have to like do a little class. How's that? You have to do that to get a driver's license.
In my state, it's the dumbest law. You can't buy a taser. I'm sorry, you can't buy pepper spray over the internet, but you could buy it in person within my state.
That's dumb.
It's kind of cocked.
Are you
Okay, I
in
think
New
we're gonna
Jersey or
wing
New
this.
York?
What was that?
No, we're gonna wing this. I want to hear about that.
No, sorry. Casey's the one in New Jersey. Gilmore's in New York, just to clear that up.
Right.
We're
Yep.
going to wing this a little bit. Gilmore wants to do the mailbag questions. I think we had a couple questions hanging out there. I don't think they're very great, but we'll see what they are. We'll ask everyone here. I don't even know what this was referring to. Mir asks, what is the best quote, I think you should leave, unquote, sketch? I'm not really up on comedy. What does that even mean?
Oh, that's a show that was on Netflix. Did you watch it, Marlow?
I've seen the first 2 seasons. Is there another season that came out after that?
I think there might be 3 overall, but it's possible there are
Okay.
2. But it's
So
one
the
of the
show
funniest
is called
shows.
I Think You Should Leave?
Yeah.
Yeah,
with Tim
you would like it,
Robinson.
Gilmore. Or Gohndim, I'm sorry.
Wow. But yeah, you would like it,
Yeah.
I think.
Gilmore, you
The
didn't answer
premise
this
of every
one.
sketch.
Oh, go
Well,
ahead,
I'll
go ahead.
answer it. So my answer is the car ideas sketch when they're at the
Oh my god, that was
hospital.
mine! The focus group?
Yeah,
Whoa.
exactly.
Oh my god, sounds very funny.
Wow.
Well, I'm not going to try and describe it for you.
Gilmore, which man would make you gay if you're not already gay?
Easy answer, Ryan Gosling.
Oh my god. Marlo, which woman would make you gay if you're not already gay?
I'm already gay though. What should I say?
Okay, which celebrity woman are you most attracted to?
Marianne Ravenwood from that third Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh my god, I love Indiana Jones. I love Harrison Ford. Okay, let's see. How do we solve Social Security? Oh my god, Gilmore's like a welfare state cuck, so very fucked up. He just wants to like give everyone even more money.
And Gohndim, what's
Is that
your
what I heard
answer?
last time?
I would just phase it out 100%. Fuck them. I think as I explained in my very simple math, I shared a spreadsheet here in the Discord a few days ago. If you save like $500 a month, for over the course of your career, you're going to be fantastically wealthy by the time you hit 60 or 65. People just need to like learn to save their money. If my position has always been, even going back to the Boston days, that if you retire and you're not a millionaire in this country, you have kind of fucked up. Like you did not really harness the American dream. Sorry. And that's fine. Some people want to be brokies. That's fine. But like, we live in a fantastically wealthy society with fantastic opportunity, and people are so wrapped up in their consumerist mentality of having this, having that, living luxurious lifestyles relative to like populations, decades ago or generations ago. It's just like, come on, just save some money, bitches.
Very well said. Can't really disagree
Let's
with that.
see.
I have a different take on that personally. I think that we should only roll out Social Security benefits to family members of the younger generation if they're willing to care for you, right? So like you actually don't get to have your Social Security benefits if no one in your family wants to have you living in their house. I think that it's important for like adult people to take care of their adult parents. It's part of what makes housing turn over so that people who are younger can have a place to fucking live that isn't their parents' house, right? It's supposed to be a swap. Like you're supposed to get old people back into the parents' house so that the young people can get out.
I really thought that we were going to see like a larger shift to people having more multi-generational housing, I guess, like 2 3 generations under the same roof becoming more accepted. And I actually say like a return to that, I guess. I mean, you see now like the stories of like Discord men living in their mom's basements, or like these loser children that are living with their parents. But I thought you'd actually see like more families living together intentionally just to save on housing costs. But I guess it's just not desirable for a lot of people.
I think we should make it more socially acceptable to live with your parents.
I agree with that.
Oh my god. Let's see. Quagsire asks, chicken or beef? Start with the vegetarian first. Gilmore, go ahead.
Between those two, I would say chicken.
Because it's like a smaller animal.
It's actually funny because I think we mentioned this last episode that I gave up eating red meat and I only ate white meat. But then after a few years, I realized eating white meat's worse because you're killing far more chickens than you are killing cows when you eat.
More suffering, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So sorry, chickens.
Wait, so you are picking the chicken or you're picking the beef?
I think I just prefer the taste of chicken better. So yeah.
When's the last time you had chicken or beef?
The last time I had chicken was probably about 7 years ago, and beef
God, I'd kill
around
myself.
the same time. Yeah.
Marlow, chicken or beef?
Depends on the cut. I hate to be like that.
Just
If it's
overall,
thigh,
generally, you have to gun to your head. Gun to your head. You have to pick one. Just overall.
gun to my head, beef.
Interesting. I don't know. I think I have to go chicken. Like chicken just seems like so universally good. I don't know. It's really tough. I'd go 60-40 chicken. I hate to say it. I eat way more chicken than beef, but I think I would enjoy the better cuts of beef more than the better cuts of chicken. So, but I think chicken's just more universal.
I respect that.
Hammock asks the equivalent for Gilmore, carrots or peas.
I don't really like peas that much, so definitely carrots.
I fucking love carrots. Peas, I'll take them or leave
Carrots are
them.
goated. Carrots are incredible.
MK comes in and corrects Hammock, and I think this is the actual equivalent. Tofu, or what is this, tempeh?
Yeah. So I eat tofu 20 times more often than I eat tempeh, but I do like tempeh. So I'd probably, if I could only eat one for the rest of my life, it'd be tofu, but I prefer tempeh.
That's all our mailbag questions. Gilmore, anything else we want to talk about on the show?
I think that's all I got. I wanted to discuss the Mom Donnie Trump meeting, but I guess we'll save it for another time.
All right, that sounds good. Marlow, anything else from you?
That wraps it up for me.
All right, then thank you everyone for listening to another episode of the Gohndim and Marlow and Gilmore podcast. Check the links in the show description to see where you can find us. Join our Discord. Please join our Discord to interact with us and submit questions for the next show. As always, your support is very much appreciated. Until next time, adios.
Bye-bye.